Well, my trail name is Honey Badger. My husband gave that name to me after watching a documentary on a honey badger named Stoffel, who was incorrigible and fearless, which he seems to think I'm fearless, which the trail actually, once you get over the fear of sleeping alone at night in a dark forest, it's pretty easy. So I started hiking it back in 2015 to find something to do for retirement. I live in a small town and there's not a lot to do there, and I needed something to do. So I started hiking, and one thing led to another, and I just started out doing small trips, you know, an overnight, and then I discovered the Arizona Trail. So I wanted to be out in nature and solitude and peace and quiet, and be able to own every decision that I made. And every decision would be mine, and I'd have to fix it if it was broken, and be happy if it was good. It's probably easier to say what the parts that are the least favorite, which would be the thing that they call the pointless ups and downs, where they go around a mountain, go up a mountain just to go down it, just to go back up it again. And they're pretty famous for that at the Arizona Trail Association. They find ways to make it difficult. But the best sections, I'd have to say, are the Matzotzals for the desert, and the Saguaro National Forest, because it's so unique. It's nothing else like it in the world. And then the sections that are north of the Grand Canyon are probably the best out there. I just started watching YouTube videos, and I just started watching hikers and learned about gear, learned about trails, you know, what to do in case the worst thing happens, and how to do things, dangerous things, safely. And I don't think that really any part of the trail is any more dangerous than going to the grocery store. It's just different. You have to be mindful of, you know, there's snakes and there's scorpions and there's things, everything on the trail, something will sting you, prick you, stab you, bite you. There's no end to the numbers of the ways you can injure yourself.
I've been looking for one of them. I've been looking for years.
Black one.
Oh yeah, they come in lots of colors.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there you go.
And of course, falling face first into rocks is never a fun thing to do, which I've done twice. Had a black eye. Had to have a hematoma removed from my chest, and looked like I'd been through a war zone, but other than that, it all healed up fine. Probably the best Arizona Trail story that I had was hiking out I parked at Cedar Ranch, and by the time I got to Moki Station, my feet were just totally blistered, and there was no way that I was going to be able to continue on to Tucson. And so what had happened is my boots had gotten wet and shrank. And these are boots that I wore all the time, so it didn't make any sense why I all of a sudden have these huge blisters. So anyway, here it was, and my feet were swollen, and I couldn't get my boots on. They were smaller. So I decided that it was, you know, not going to work, and I was going to have to get off the trail. So I about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, waited out by the road, and nobody came. And so by 7 o'clock, I decided, well, I'm going to set up camp and then get up early in the morning. And nobody came by that road all night long. So at 6 in the morning, I threw all of my things down by the road and waited. And about 9 o'clock, a truck came down the road hauling a couple horses. And I stood out in the middle of the road and waved my arms, which fortunately the guy didn't run me over. And I asked him if he was going back to Cedar Ranch, and he said later that day he would be, but maybe I'd be better off getting another ride if I needed one. And I said, nope. I just got in the truck. He had to move an entire herd of cattle. He says, well, you'll be with me the whole day. And I said, that's okay. As long as I get back to my car sometime today, I don't care. So it was actually on the Babbitt Ranch, and he was one of the main cowboys there. And he spent the day rounding up cows, moving a herd of cattle, rounding up cowboys, picking them up, taking them for their lunch, moving horses, and it was absolutely the best Arizona Trail day ever. And it just taught me that you have to, you have to be flexible, and you have to, you never know what you're going to end up with at the end of the day when you start. You may have a plan, and you may think you know what you're going to do, but it just changes. And you have to just be open to it. And it was the best day ever. Watching those guys rope those cows and riding around on their horses. And I mean, these were true cowboys. So that's the best story. I don't think I've probably been over-prepared, but things change and things happen that you never expect. And so actually when I did the first section up Miller Peak, I was prepared for the cold weather, but it was a lot colder than what was forecast. And I had on all of my clothes, and I was freezing, still freezing and shivering. And that's when, I just started trying to figure out how to warm myself up, and came up with a couple little things that, I'd never planned on, but they worked to keep me warm. I started back in 2015. That's the first time I ever got to step on the trail. And it was at American Flag Ranch there in Oracle. We were driving back from Tucson and went through there, and just kind of driving around looking at things, and I look up and there was a sign that said the Arizona Trail. And so, I got out and went over and looked at it and started researching things, and I've only been able to do it between working and family. So it's taken me this long, but actually I think it's almost better because you get more time to reflect on the experience. And it's harder doing sections because you have to arrange rides to and from, and especially when you go by yourself, there's, you're on your own and you have to figure it all out. But it actually has helped me a lot because I've learned not to depend on anyone for anything and be responsible for my own self and my own safety. And I think it's, I'm a better hiker because of it. Always take an opportunity when it comes up. when something presents itself, take that opportunity because you never know where it's going to take you. And you never know the experience that you're going to get to have out of it. And, you know, sometimes plans don't always work out, and you have to decide what's right for you and go with it. And the big thing is, you can plan all you want, but you have to be flexible. And you have to be, you know, it's a very fluid thing where you have to be prepared to change. And you didn't plan for it to be, you planned for it to be sunny, but now it's raining. And now you have to take care of everything. And you plan to be out for 3 nights and it's going to turn into 4 because you got lost somewhere on top of a mountain, or because it's a lot hotter than you thought it was going to be. You have to be flexible and learn how to be smart about it and not get into trouble. But just, you know, you have to decide what you want and do it, because nobody else is going to do it for you. I almost didn't want to finish the trail because then I have to find something else. But I have a few trails that I want to experience. I'm going to do the John Muir Trail in September. And I want to surround myself with beauty. And I want to see all the beautiful things that are out there. And change your brain. Change your brain to expect good things. And it happens. The other thing is that, you know, there's times that I haven't had any plans, and you just wake up in the morning and you say, it's going to be a great day today and I'm going to go find a hike. But the John Muir Trail is the one thing I really want to do. And then I'd like to do the Camino in Spain sometime. I think that would be a really beautiful hike, a new experience. And I would like to see as much of the Sierra Nevadas as I can possibly do. The most beautiful spot on earth. Start with some easy sections if you're by yourself. If you have someone that you can hike with, that's great. But if you don't let it stop you. Figure it out. If your car is at the end and you need to get back to the beginning, arrange a shuttle, get a taxi, call an Uber. Do whatever you have to make it happen. And start with some easy sections. And if you're going to do the section hike, and just make it happen. Just decide that no matter what happens out there, you're going to finish it. And you will, even if it takes you 5 or 6 years. Well, this has been a 6-year adventure. I didn't think I would be so emotional about finishing. This trail has just consumed every thought in my mind for the last 6 years. How I could get out there, what the water was going to be like, how I could get back, and where I would camp, what I would eat. And it's really been every thought. And now I'll have to find a new trail.
See these 2 people? They have walked from Mexico almost to Utah.
I think I've really found myself out here, seeing all this beauty, seeing things that you could never even imagine existed. And the people that you meet on this trail are just the most amazing people.
And we have a little bit of I think we have 4 miles left.
3.5.
The girls are all taking pictures of flowers and this and that. It's beautiful. It is really stunning. Really pretty.
And it seems like within 5 minutes of meeting somebody, you have a new best friend. Coming into the trail, into this trailhead, it's so much emotion that you can't even explain it. And it's been the best adventure that anyone who knows me would never have imagined that I'm doing the things that I am. I'm just high on this life, and it's such a beautiful life out here. And everything that you do, and look at me, how dirty. I'm just absolutely filthy dirty. I'm loving every second of it.
Where we live over there in the western Arizona. I met her again. I was in the store.
So, I guess, till the next adventure, happy trails.